Hello, my book friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today, we are going to be discussing Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas, House of Earth and Blood. I can never remember that. I literally just call it Crescent City. I never call it by its actual title. It's just Crescent City #1. Next year, Crescent City #2. We're probably never gonna know the real titles. We're probably never gonna say the real titles. It's just Crescent City to me. The wait for this book was unbelievably hard. I read it. I finished the book, guys. This was a massive book. It doesn't look big. No, it doesn't look big because they keep using the Bible thin pages that make me so afraid that I'm going to rip them. And you know what? I did, a couple times. I ripped some of the pages, not very bad, but on accident a couple times, little rip. Yeah. If you guys didn't know, this is Sarah J. Maas's not new adult, because I'm just saying it's her new series that is in the adult genre. She has never written an adult book. If you look at it, Court of Thorns and Roses is kind of like an adult. It's new adult, but you could really, it's an adult. What is the barrier between new adult and adult? Do you guys know? Is it the age of the character? Because I believe this book started out when she's 23 and then 25. And then A Court of Thorns and Roses, she's how old is Feyre? Well, if you didn't know, Sarah J. Maas is one of my all-time favorite writers ever. Her writing is just so amazing. Her characters are so great. Her world building, this book had some amazing world building. I loved this world that we got to know. It's just everything that I love. Everything. We've got vampires, werewolves, fae. We all know we love the fae. Sarah J. Maas loves writing about the fae. We got angels. Angels, guys. I love angel stories. I think one of the last angel books that I read was Hush Hush, and that was in middle school, and I've been wanting someone to write more about angels because I don't know, I just love them. Just like the fae, I don't love them as much as the fae because just the fae, they have my heart. It was everything that I ever wanted, and I'm so excited for the second book, but also what is gonna happen, because if you guys have read the book, the last page, what's gonna happen now? If you haven't read this book, please go read it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was fantastic. The ending was fantastic. One of the best endings to a book I have ever read. Applause. Applause, Sarah J. Maas. Applause. If you haven't read it, you really don't. You don't want to miss out on this book. I promise you. You really don't. This book is about a girl named Bryce, and she lives in this city called Crescent City. Like I said, there's vampires, werewolves, all these things. At the beginning of the book, we meet all these characters, Bryce's friends and everything, but then they get murdered, and literally just her whole entire life just plummets. Everyone thinks that a demon has killed her friends, and so the accused is behind bars, but then about 2 years later, the case is reopened, and Bryce and this angel guy named Hunt go searching for the actual killer, what happened, what is surrounding her friend's death. Moral of my non-spoilery thoughts is that I love this book and you will love it too. So go read it, come back so we can discuss this massive, beautiful book together. Okay, guys. So, wow. First, I would just like to talk about the beginning of the book. Danica's death. Danica and all her friends' death. I don't know how Sarah J. Maas had me become so attached to characters that I already knew were gonna die. We only saw 6 chapters of them in the book, but I fell in love with them. I fell in love with Danica. I thought she was just a great friend. I even fell in love with Connor. I was I know I shouldn't be shipping Connor with Bryce because Bryce is going to end up with someone else, obviously, and Connor is a goner. I loved him, and I loved Danica. I loved their entire crew. I loved their friend group and the way they interacted with each other. It was just so sweet and just so great. And for that to be ripped out, and in the worst, most bloody, gory, gross, disgusting, sad way. I want to talk about this too. When she discovers Danica and all the friends' body, which, wow, heartbreaking as crap. She sees Micah in that alley and he's being like attacked by this demon. I read this book 2 days ago and I'm already like, am I forgetting something, or did Micah already explain this? Why did Micah like choose to be attacked by the demon when Micah was the one who killed Danica and all her friends? Was that just like a ploy, or did he know that Bryce was gonna come after him? Was that for real? Was he really gonna die? Like, or was that all fake? I read this book. I swear I read it. Still have questions because I know at the very end Micah was like, he was like telling all these explanations of what went down and stuff. So I might have like misread that because I read that part so quick because like my eyes just could not, you know, I was just like speed reading like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I might have overlooked that part that he explained. So if you guys know, you know, clear that up for me in the comments down below. Bryce's biological dad is the reason why she doesn't like, she calls them alpha holes. Like alpha, you know, domineering, really dominant, like male guys. Like she doesn't like dating guys like that. That's one of the reasons why she didn't want to date Connor, because he's a werewolf. And if you read any Wattpad werewolf books, you know, like I did when I was like 13, you know that the werewolf boys are always very territorial. We meet Hunt at the very beginning of the book. We see him when Bryce is being interrogated. It's not going so well. She's obviously so traumatized. She just discovered the body of all of her friends and it was not pretty. It was not pretty. And they're just questioning her. Hunt's like, you know what? You guys might want to stop. Like, she is going to break. She is going to break. And he's the only one to comfort her. And I knew right at that moment. I'm liking this character. I'm liking him a lot. He's kind of like a fallen angel a little bit. The way I always think of him as a fallen angel now, because he doesn't have white wings. He has like gray wings, which is like the fallen angel cast out of heaven. He has this halo like on his head, which I thought was so cool. Whenever you think about like angels and stuff, you always think of like halos and like wings and, you know, angelic things. Here we have halos, but they're tattooed on the foreheads to symbolize like that they're slaves, that they're not exactly free, and they have like the tattoos on their hands. I just thought that was a really cool twist. Should we just talk about the end? I was not expecting all that stuff to go down with Hunt and all his other angel buddies. They were trying to get this drug in order for them to rebel again. I was not expecting that. I honestly thought it might have been a lie, that maybe he was just like giving into it so that he could protect Bryce. Like he was just saying that, oh yeah, I was involved in this because he found out something and he was trying to protect Bryce. But like, no, he was actually in on it. Like he didn't want to be in on it at first, but then they caught him, and so it was just a lot of emotion. It was a betrayal. I had a lot of mixed feelings about it. We have to talk about this now because I'm going to forget about it. The ending with that cat, demon, prince of hell guy, what was his name? Like yes, Adis. There's something going on. I don't even know what. Like honestly, I love Adis, and we all know, like if you've read any of other Sarah J Maas books, the main character like at the beginning of the series will be with one guy and then she might switch over to someone else. I was like prepared for that to happen. I loved Hunt, learned to love him, was like completely sold on him the entire book. Not really. I'm not gonna lie and say I was. I saw this ADAS guy. Is Sarah gonna pull one on us and have Bryce fall in love with this cat prince of hell dude? Like, I mean, she might. It seems like he's gonna be in the next book and he's up to no good with Jessica. I don't know what's his plan. It's just weird. The conversation they had at the very end, Jessica's talking to him and she's like, don't F us over this time, ADAS. He's like, I do not plan to. Not when things are about to get so interesting. It seems like he knows Bryce. Like he went up to Bryce after she went to the Oracle and all that stuff went down. Her and him, I don't know, like there might be like, I don't know. Am I imagining things? I might be. I've just read so many of her books that I'm imagining that Bryce is gonna fall in love with this other dude. I don't know. I want to know more about Adis. That's such a weird name. How do you say it? Where is the pronunciation guide? There needs to be one. Like her brother, Rune. His name is Rune because I got, in the middle of reading this, I got the audiobook and I found out his name is Rune. Like that's how you say his name. But I kept pronouncing it like Run because it's R-U-H-N. Like how else am I going to say that? Run, run, run. When we first met Rune, gosh, I was like, is this her dad? Because I feel like it was like the first mention of like a fae person, so I was like, oh, is this her dad? But then I was like, oh, it's her cousin. Oh wait, no, it's her brother. I love this relationship between Bryce and her brother. They were trying to keep a secret that Bryce was the only daughter of the Autumn King and that Rune and her are siblings. I love their relationship. We saw so much how it grew throughout this entire book because him and Bryce, they're just not really on good terms. You know, he called her a slut. You know, I would hate him for that too. But you can tell that he clearly cares for her so deeply, and at one point they were best friends, like before Danica. Okay, also at the end, was any of you guys expecting her to have powers? I don't know why. I wasn't. I have read so many books with so many plot twists. I should have seen that coming. I should have seen that coming, that she had some sort of powers. But I was led to believe throughout this entire book that she did not have any powers. Like, there was no spark of any type of power. But at the end, it's like, oh no, she has a lot. She has a lot. It's so bright. It's so bright it blinds an oracle. What? What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was thinking because Rune was the only person in their family that had like the power, so he was like the heir. He was the chosen one, like Harry Potter style. He only had like a kernel of the power. Bryce was a badass. She killed it. All those scenes with Micah and figuring out that Micah was the one that murdered Danica. I feel like in a way Danica knew that she was gonna die. Like, she knew that she was something was gonna go wrong, and that's why at the very end, when we last see Danica alive, she tells Bryce, I love you. Because they don't say it a lot. That was the moment when I knew Danica was gonna die, when she said I love you and Bryce didn't say it back. I was like, you're gonna be really sad when you don't say it back when she dies. Micah was the one to give her the drug, and Danica is the one that literally ripped to shreds her entire pack. That's some heavy stuff. At the very end though, when Danica showed up and she was like, light it up, Bryce. Light it up. Oh my god, I started crying. I can't believe it. I'm like tearing up just thinking about it. Like, she was like, light it up, Bryce. Light it up. That was honestly just like such an emotional scene. They wanted to make the drop together. So in this world, there is this thing called a drop. And the drop is when you become immortal. And to make the drop, you have to have an anchor, somebody to bring you back. Danica and Bryce were gonna do it together, but Danica died, and so Bryce never did make the drop. And it was just so emotional that Danica came back just to be that anchor for Bryce. I love seeing their bond and their friendship. Like, even in death, they will always be best friends. We learned also that Bryce, she gave up her spot in, I guess, would it be like heaven or something, to ensure that Danica would go to heaven, like their heaven, right? What is it called? I don't know the name. I forgot the name. But it's the place where the people that are worthy enough, that's where they go. There's this thing where like they'll put the person's body on the boat and they'll drift them out into the water. Very peaceful. Very peaceful, you think, but if their boat turns over, they're not worthy. Bryce gave up her spot, so like, what's gonna happen when she dies? Like, I'm worried for the girl. What is gonna happen to her? Like, is she gonna earn her spot back? Like, she's worthy. She's worthy. Would Danica have made it across if Bryce hadn't made that decision? Back to Rune, her brother. What the crap does the oracle mean when she said, the royal bloodline shall end with you? I need clarification, please. I need to know. Let's go talk to the oracle. I just love that Hunt underestimates Bryce so much in this book. Bryce is smart. She is a smart cookie. She goes and gets her nails done in order to talk to the girlfriend of that creepy vampire guy. Hunt just constantly puts her down as some sort of party girl. So what? She likes to party. The girl likes to have a good time. You're gonna put her down just because she likes to live her life. She's smart. She has value. She's a princess. This was a very slow burn romance book. I loved how Sarah focused on their friendship, like how like first they didn't like each other. Hunt is basically where he is today because it's the choice that he made to stand behind this other angel named Sahar. He calls her his one true love. Like, he'll never really love anyone the way he loves Sahar. Did I love Hunt? Yes, but did I feel this connection between him and Bryce, like, did I feel like that the connection was so strong? Not really. I felt like their chemistry was a little bit lacking at times. I did feel like a little bit of the connection between Bryce and Hunt. Did it jump off the page? Not really. So that's why I was kind of wondering, like, is she gonna end up with someone else? But at the same time, it's like, how could she end up with someone else? She sacrificed her life for Hunt. He almost died to protect Bryce at the very end of the book when he dropped down and, like, you know, cocooned her. He almost died. If she hadn't made the drop, he would have died. So, like, how could she move on from him? I love how Sarah J Maas loves to put pets in her books. She put a pet in Throne of Glass, and now we got Syrinx, and he's a chimera. If anything, the dog had to live. At the very end, when that dog was pushed into that water, anybody else could die except for this dog, and I would be okay with it. I don't know why, but that knock thing was so creepy. I don't really have a reason for it, but I'm sure there was a different description in the book. All I could imagine this knock thing looking like was a creepy little lizard. So every single time this knock thing would show up and they'd be like, oh, he was creepy smiling at me, all I would think about was a creepy lizard smiling. Is it a lizard? Is it I should have looked it up. Honestly, you know what? Maybe I should look it up right now. It's a water spirit? Okay, wait. All I'm seeing is like a spirit guy that kind of looks like a Dementor, a weird looking Dementor, and a Pegasus. So if it's either one of those things, then I was extremely off. In this book, we are also looking for the horn, and the horn is like this artifact in the Fae world. The horn's purpose wasn't merely to close doors, it opens them too. It depends on what the bearer wishes. Bryce was the horn the entire time. That tattoo that Danica had Bryce inscrawled on her back was like the horn. Sarah J Maas has this ability to keep plot twists from us even though we are reading it from the main character's point of view. Bryce had figured it out that she was the horn and that what was on her back made her the horn. She figured it out before Micah figured it out. She figured it out and we didn't know that she had figured it out. Okay, more reasons to why Bryce's dad is a complete jerk. When he thought that Bryce had no powers, he kicked her out, threw her stuff, and left her on the curb. Who does that to their child? And then at the end, he acts like he cares for her. And I don't know, like, I don't like him at all, but maybe he can be redeemed. The whole time, I kind of thought that the person that killed Danica was her mom, Sabine. She was so mean towards Danica, her daughter. Like, she looked at her daughter like she was competition, and she was. I was so mad when Bryce went to like the werewolf headquarters to talk to Sabine. She saw Amelia. She was such a jerk to her, and so was that Ethan guy, Connor's younger brother. He was such a jerk to Bryce. But when Bryce had those chocolate croissants for Danica's birthday and they had written trash on them, Amelia and her friends, I was so happy when Hunt hunted her down, got up in her face and was like, hey, we ain't gonna be doing that. Okay, Rude and Hypaxia, I knew that was her. I knew it the moment he stepped in, and at the very end of that chapter, he was like, oh, I hadn't even gotten her name. This is your future wife, Hypaxia. Like, we all know it. I love Hypaxia. That's another thing. We have witches too. We have like so many mythological beings. I love this world that Sarah has created because it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's urban fantasy because it's not. But like, we have the college, Crescent City College, so it sounds so like mundane, but it's like not. So you have mermaids. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the mermaid. The mermaid guy, what was his name? I forgot. There's so many names in this book. There were so many people, but like, I loved him, and I love that we have so many mythological creatures in one world. It's so cool. Darrien, that was the merman's name. Just found it. Okay, but I totally ship Rune and Hypaxia. I can't wait to see that relationship grow because they had a connection and it was really cute. Oh, okay, so back to Adas or whatever that guy's name was. So I keep saying that he's a prince of hell, but it says he's a prince of chasm. I don't know, I really kind of like him. Is it really bad to like a prince of hell, prince of chasm? I don't know. He goes, make the drop, Bryce, and find me when you are done. Why? Like, what? She's made the drop now, so like, what's gonna happen now that she has made the drop? Obviously, I already love this character. He might be a bad guy because at the very end of the book, like, it just kind of seems like he's up to no good. We kind of love bad boys. So the synth is basically a drug that can give humans the power of veneer, and I'm thinking that the humans are gonna get a hold of that. We cannot have these books and not have the humans somehow get a hold of those drugs. I feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna go really, really bad. I don't feel like the rebellion between the humans and the veneer, it's not over, it's not done with. Why the crap was every single time hell was mentioned in this book, it was spelled with only one L? I would really much like a reason for that. I don't know if Sarah's just trying to be like really unique. It stood out to me so much. It was so distracting that there was only one L. But I'm thinking like maybe their hell is different and that's why it's spelled differently. But I would very much like an explanation because every single time it was like one L and it just stood out to me, that one L, so much. Oh my gosh, that one part when Hunt's wings got cut off. Oh, I thought he was gonna die. Like, I did not know it was gonna happen. It's called the living death. Their wings are literally just chopped off like a guillotine, and I was like, he's not gonna be able to fly ever again. Like, this is not gonna go well. Like, holy crap, like, what is happening? But then you find out that this like is such an ordinary thing. Like, this is something that they do to people to really punish them, and their wings just grow back. They just grow back. I'm glad that his wings did grow back, but like, I was expecting his wings to be cut off forever. So a few times in this book, we get mention of this guy, and his name is the Under King. Is he like Hades, like the devil? He basically runs, I'm pretty sure he runs the afterlife. She did meet him once, and he seemed like a pretty chill guy. You know, maybe really intimidating, but like pretty chill. And Jessica, she works for him. All I'm saying is I think that the Under King and Adis, they're definitely gonna be major players because we only seen a little bit of the Under King, and that just makes me suspicioso. I guess we shall see. Can we just appreciate the moment, the loyalty that Bryce has when she was going to buy Hunt's freedom? I did not like Sandro for obvious reasons, and seeing Bryce being so loyal to Hunt after he wouldn't say he betrayed her, but it was like a little bit betrayal. She fought that, and she fought for him. Can we talk about how at the very end all of those people were just watching Bryce almost die, like watching Micah almost kill Bryce? How did he not realize that she was texting Jessica, like, put me on the screen, like, help me, you know? Like, how did he not realize? Wouldn't he be like, don't give me your phone, like, you're not contacting anyone? And throughout the entire ending, they were watching her.
And no one's gonna help her? Some world we live in.
It took them so long to get to her that she just had to clean up the mess herself. Literally, she cleaned up the mess. She burned Micah to ash and vacuumed him up. I did not understand how they were watching her the entire time. I was just like, do they have like a drone just like following her everywhere? Because she was running in so many different locations. How were they tracking her that far? She went everywhere. She was fighting off so many people, and yet they were still filming and like watching her. They had to have had like a secret kind of Crescent City technological little drone. Okay, and I'm kind of ashamed of this theory that I had. For some stupid reason, my reader mind was suspecting Lahaba. Cringe. I can't believe that for a second I thought Lahaba was the one that was doing all this. Like, somehow, like, she is like a little pixie. That would be like such a plot twist I would never see the coming. So I was like trying my hardest to find out the plot twist before they even happened, and I ended up coming up with like theories that like did not happen like at all. And the only reason I thought, like, I suspected Lahaba for like 1 second was because she was telling Bryce that like Danica was mean to her and like all this stuff, and I was like, oh, that moment when she sacrificed herself for Syrinx, for Bryce, was just so beautiful. That loyalty, the friendship was just beautiful. The friendship and the loyalty in this book really shine through for me. We think Lahaba's dead. We pretty much know she's dead, but like, what if she's not? Like, what if she's alive? Another reason I love Hypaxia is because she used her powers to free Hunt. I could not believe that she had the ability to do that. How have we not done this before? Like, how have we not thought of doing this before. I thought that the Asteri and the angel people, like, I thought they were the same thing, but I think they still are, but it seems like they're like on different like classes. Like maybe the Asteri are like more powerful than like say like Hunt and like Micah was. The leader of the Asteri, his name is Regilus. He is a teenager. She knew that voice, knew the lanky teenage body it belonged to. Now, you know what this made me think of? If you've read Jennifer L. Armentrout books, the Lux series, there is one character and his name is Luke, and he is a teenage boy, but he is so powerful, and like that's just literally what made me think of this character, because he's a teenager. He's a teenager, but he is like the leader of all these people that everyone seems to be so afraid of. Can we please get to know him more? I would love to just sit down, just chat, like get to know the teenager that rules over all these people. He's in charge. Like, is he actually a teenager, or did he make the drop when he was a teenager? Questions, lots of questions. This book was just a roller coaster of emotions. I loved it so much. I can tell how Sarah has just, her writing has gotten better and better each book, like, and her books are just like always wonderfully written. I just can tell that she's still growing, like she's still becoming such a great author, and I enjoy her books so much, and I'm so excited for the next book. I'm excited for like all the things that is about to go down. Like there's so much stuff that is like, it's building up, because this book had a lot of like world building, like learning the characters, learning the different like rules and stuff, and there's about to be more conflict, I can tell, from Adis. I'm excited to meet him more. He intrigues me for some reason. I just want to know more about him. So there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts about Crescent City. I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let's talk about this book in the comments down below. What are your theories for the next book? What do you guys think is gonna happen? What are your favorite characters? What were your favorite parts in this book? What was like the most heartbreaking scene in this book? I would just love to hear your guys' thoughts. So that is it for today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!